What's going on, everybody? It's Q Jackson, host of BLK Talk. Of course, I'm back with another amazing episode and more amazing guests. These guys, if you have been in the city of Atlanta, these guys are everywhere, capturing images that allow you to never forget a memory. Out here teaching classes, out here, they are the true epitome of what a lifestyle influencer, videography, photography, they are that. Today, we're going to dig a little bit deeper into who they are and let you guys know what they have going on. So today, welcome the Cork Bros on BLK Talk.
Hey,
welcome, guys.
Appreciate you having us, Q.
Yeah. I mean, you know, this is something that I wanted to do for a while. Yep. You know, we set it up, we made it happen, and here we are today.
Yep.
Like, I've seen you guys everywhere for years.
Yeah. It's been like half a decade or something.
Yeah.
Probably so. Yeah. Probably so. And I've always seen you guys with the camera. You guys have a warm, welcoming, inviting spirit. But I always knew there was something deeper to what you guys were doing and how you guys came together. Yeah. So let's start with the history of the Cork Bros.
Oh yeah, we're starting from the beginning, man.
So picture it.
Yep.
Atlanta.
Yep.
I'm assuming it was Atlanta.
Yeah.
You guys met. Yep. All right. So what year was it?
2016.
Okay. Where'd you guys meet?
Lifetime Fitness.
Yeah. We were playing in a basketball league together. Mm-hmm. And you got to tell the story of the team we were on.
Oh man, so we both got here the same month of in August 2016
from different places.
Where are you guys from?
All over for both of us.
Yeah, I'm originally from Chicago, but I've lived all over.
Army kids.
I'm an Army kid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kid,
Okay. Midwest Chicago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we got put on this team for all the players that don't know anybody.
Yeah.
It was in the men's league. It's called the Free Agents. And usually that team gets waxed all the time because, you know, there's no team chemistry. Everybody's stacking their teams in the league. Yep. When we came together, our team ran that league. Yeah. Like, we won the league. We're always competitive, winning games, all that stuff. Yeah. And I think that was the start when we first recognized in each other the mentality both of us had.
Yeah.
Because I remember we'd be outside of the games. It'd be nights we weren't even playing in the league or days. And we were strategizing how we're going to beat this team, how we're going to beat that team. Maybe they have better athletes or whatever. And we would always just be there. And the goal was always just to win.
Yeah.
Like, that was always what we were playing for, what we were going for. And to win the most efficiently while, like, incorporating everybody, too. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no ego in it. We're always, like just trying to play basketball the most beautiful and team-oriented way we could.
Yeah. It's the first time I've ever heard that. I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, you guys met.
Yep.
The chemistry was there.
Yep.
Okay, now we're here where we are now with the Cork Bros. How did the name happen?
So we both have Cork in our last name. My last name is McCorkle and his is Corkrum. And one day we were in an office and this lady was like, "Oh, it's the Cork Brothers." I'm like, wow. You know what?
Yeah,
you're right.
We gotta run with that one.
Yeah.
We gotta run with it.
Yeah, shout out to Pam for giving us the name. But we shortened it to Cork Bros, just because it sounds a lot better, and then we trademarked our logo, and kind of gone from there.
Yeah.
See, that's crazy though, because like my name, the quintessential brand, it was not something that I thought of. And it was somebody that came to me and was like, you know, everything you're doing, like you're quintessentially everything. Like, and to have that be a part of the start of your brand. Somebody else coming to you guys after you've already realized that you guys have a great connection, and now you guys are building upon that. Yeah. Now tell me, does Pam get free access to anything you guys have going on?
So Pam, we just haven't been in contact with Pam.
Oh no, we gotta find Pam.
We gotta find Pam.
Yeah, we gotta reconnect with Pam.
But we haven't seen her in years, but you know, shout out to her for giving us the name. And you know what? That makes me think, based on your story too, it's the importance of being around good people when you're starting out.
Who see stuff in you that you don't often see.
Exactly.
Because shout out to Toy.
Yeah. Hey, there it is. But it's super important because a lot of times you only see the negative stuff when you're starting out and you're like, I'm not good at this, I'm not good at this, good at this. But to have those outside opinions that will build you up is super important in the early days.
I agree. Now, when you guys decided to go ahead and become the Cork Bros.
Yeah.
What did you guys start off doing, and what was that conversation like to get you where you are today?
Oh man.
Oh no.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Oh man. So before the Cork Bros, we were the AM Food Pros.
Oh, what is? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very uncreative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we actually started off as restaurant consultants.
Okay.
A lot of people don't
Yeah,
even.
nothing to do with cameras.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew nothing about cameras. We didn't have social media. I didn't have any social media for 4 years leading up until the
How
business.
did you live life without?
Oh
social
man, I just
media?
enjoyed it, man. I was present all the time. But yeah, we started because Michelangelo had a friend in San Francisco whose bar was struggling.
Okay.
And I spent over 10 years in the restaurant industry managing and opening restaurants. And like, we want a free trip to San Francisco because they wanted help in my advice and stuff with that. And they're like, give us a proof of concept and then we'll fly you guys out. And we're like, what does that even look like?
Yeah, so we spent 1 year looking for different bars. We'd go to different bars and just like trying to help them doing the consulting thing so that we could get the proof of concept to go to San Francisco.
Yeah.
I don't even know when we really made the switch from like, we're just trying to get on this trip to let's be a business with it.
Yeah.
I don't know if, I can't remember.
Somebody had to realize that there was actually some money in there.
Yeah, but the thing is that first year, we racked up over 300 no's in a row.
Yeah.
We didn't make any money besides
$500.
one project where we built a website somehow. We knew nothing about building websites. We were like, any project, any money we can get in, let's do it. So we made $500 in the first year.
Yeah.
Because everybody was telling us no.
Yeah.
Wow.
They didn't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
300 no's now. Is that like for real?
No.
Yeah.
Can we go back? Are there receipts, or is that just like
Yeah.
that's what it felt like?
No,
Oh,
we were counting them because we were going like 5 days a week, just up and down the roads, restaurant to restaurant, cafe, bar, whatever. Boom, boom. We just literally go this restaurant, the next restaurant, the next restaurant, and walk into all of them. And no.
Yeah.
And it would be different. Like we get to different levels of the conversation, but it always ended no.
Yeah.
Some would felt like we're right there.
Yeah.
No.
So for you guys, what was the common consensus with the no's? Did you guys like ask for feedback from these people as to why they chose to go with a no?
Oh, we just sucked, man.
We just sucked.
We just sucked.
Now, I mean, did they tell you that, or did you feel?
We knew we sucked in the moment.
We knew it because a lot of times, like we didn't have any experience in sales, so we were just going in there and we were bombing. Like we knew we were bombing. Like we told this guy like we will lower your sales and increase your costs. And he just started kind of like chuckling, you know, like when little middle schoolers come in and like trying to sell you candy bars. Right? No, I'm good.
So from that though, like, how did you guys, I guess, re-strategize and brainstorm and come together and say, all right, like we are not doing what we thought we should be doing, how we should be doing it. Let's figure it out and come back so we can be strong.
Yeah.
And all of those no's can turn into yeses.
Yeah, dude, it really started with we started doing offering free food photo shoots.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that we would get in and like that was our way of like getting into a conversation with like the owner or the decision maker.
Yeah.
So had you touched the camera before then?
No, we didn't know anything.
Yeah.
We didn't know what ISO was. We didn't know what f-stop, shutter speed. We barely knew how to turn on the camera.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna save those words for later because I'm gonna ask you.
Yeah. So like we didn't know anything. And we doing them on our phone back then.
Yeah.
It was like 2018, and the only thing they cared about was the food photos. When we started talking about data analytics and this and that and POS system, blah, the conversation died.
Yeah.
So it took about 3 months of doing that for us to realize we're like, wait, we got to listen to the market. The market's just the only thing they care about that we've ever offered is photos.
Yeah.
And these weren't even good photos.
Yeah.
And they literally the conversation ends on everything else.
Yeah.
So then we're like, let's start doing photos.
Yeah.
So let's become photographers.
Yep.
And we did that, and for the first like 3 months we were doing that, we would only use the phone. We had like this Nikon
2011,
like it came out in 2011 camera, like DSLR. We didn't really know how to work it.
Yeah.
So one of us would hold the camera, act like they were taking photos. The other one would be with the phone.
Yeah.
So that when the owner came out, they thought, it was a real professional operation going on.
Yeah.
But it was really just like us taking phone photos with it.
Yeah.
So that went on for about 3 months, and back to like even the basketball, our mindset is like, we're doing something, especially seriously, like we want to be the best at it.
Yeah.
So like just taking photos on the phone wasn't enough.
Yeah.
We're like, we know it can be higher quality. And we only feel like we're providing them marginal value, and we're like, we're working with somebody, we want them to actually get a lot of value out of it, or else we don't feel good about the work we did.
Yeah.
So then we started learning it. YouTube University, just going out there, learning this concept, that technique, and going out there just practicing it. We're shooting every freaking day, man. Just go out there, nighttime photo shoots with people, products, lights, whatever. Like we were just getting reps in every single day.
Yeah.
And how long did it take for you guys to feel that you were the pros that you like deserve to be?
Last year. So I would say it took about 5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Because I and not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but I was just at an event a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And like you guys, all right, we're gonna go snap this photo.
Yeah.
I swear it was like 1 second. I posed, you snapped. And that was like one of the best pictures that I've taken in a very long time. And y'all just became pros last year?
Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah. Because I think what it is too is we got comfortable, or not comfortable, we understood that we had to suck for a long time.
Yeah.
So we can get to the level that we knew we could get to. We didn't want to cut corners. We didn't want to shoot in auto. We didn't want to edit with presets. We wanted to learn every single thing from the composition to the shot style to the lens we needed to use to the camera settings to how we need to edit it to how we get it out in real time to what we need for social media. And so we just took so much time to learn it all, and it just kind of started really clicking this time last year. So
wow. So that kind of goes back to the conversation we were having earlier. When I first met you guys, I was a part of teams. Whether it was radio, magazine, whatever it was, I was always a part of a team. So everything that I did, it was, based off of that team. But we had people that were doing editing. We had people that were doing this and people that were doing that. But on this particular journey, it's all me doing every freaking thing. So I know how important it was for me to be able to have my hand in everything so I know how it works. So for you guys, how important was it to learn every aspect of what you guys are doing?
Oh, it was completely necessary. Completely necessary. Because I feel like, and this is getting a little more philosophical, but I feel like a lot of people sell themselves short because, like, any person, like, just the makeup of a human being can accomplish so much. Like, you can learn something and be very good at something, but usually it requires, like, getting over a steep learning curve. So you got to keep going at it over and over and over again, day after day after day. And you have to be intentional about how you're learning. And then eventually you can get over that learning curve. But it's the consistency where we fail at, right?
Yeah.
And back to the thing where Andres and I, we always want to be the best. So like the things I look up to, I compare like visually, where I go for inspiration is like movies, like really well shot movies and stuff. I'm not really looking at stuff on social because I'm like, there's a whole level past that. It's like, we don't see a lot of movie level content on social right now, but content right now is way better than content 3 years ago on social, quality wise, and it's only going further. So it's like, I'm like, I need to get there. I need to be at the top of that mountain. So long way of saying it was completely necessary to learn all those aspects and we're still learning aspects right now. Like there's things we've added to our look and the way we shoot and all that kind of stuff in the past 3 weeks that are like, we feel like are game changing for us. But we could only figure out like that more advanced technique after we learned and built the foundation for the other ones.
So what are some of the main things aside from the photography, the videography that you guys had to work hard at perfecting?
Communication.
Okay, that's a big one. Explain that a little bit.
Yeah, so one of the things that we don't come from the field in the industry of photography, videography, and so that actually gave us an advantage because we didn't learn from other people who were doing it. We just taught ourselves and learned the way we wanted to learn. And a lot of what we were seeing was the communication was horrible coming from the photographers and videographers. It'd be delayed. it'd be short, it'd be like unprofessional, it'd be like putting a lot of stipulations on if we edit above 50 photos, it's $20 per photo for editing and all this stuff. And so we really had to learn the communication styles of it, not just the business side, but even when we're posing you, so we know in 1 second when we're taking your photo, we know how to get that out of you. And we know how to get that out of someone who's nervous and stuff like that. And so we really had to learn communication. Then we had to learn our voice on social media. For a long time, we didn't even know who we were communicating with, to be honest. But over this past year, we've shifted to like talking to Atlanta. And like that's really been big for us. Where we've seen a lot of growth was we now are talking to people in the city of Atlanta, and it's starting to catch on, and like people really start to respect that. So I'd say communication is one of the biggest things in so many different avenues that we've had to learn and perfect.
Now you guys are pros at what you guys are doing. Now you guys are out here teaching people how to become pros. So you guys recently had a class.
Yep.
Okay. Now tell us about the class and what made you guys feel like, all right, it's time for us to give back to, you know, those aspiring to be great.
Yeah, so I'll start it and then Michelangelo could dive into the specific stuff. When we came up, as we just said, we didn't really have anyone we could look for inspiration to teach us or different things like that in the way we wanted to learn to like be the best. It was always like, hey, here's 5 shortcuts of how to take better photos and stuff like that. And we never believed in that. And so we're like, we want to push people to learn to be the best at photography. And Michelangelo could talk about kind of the mindset behind that, but we just wanted to be an outlet for people to learn. And like, because we don't just want to be the best in like all the other content on social media sucks. It's like the better they get, the more valuable all of our stuff gets. And so, yeah, that was huge for us. But you could talk about the Home Depot backyard.
Light bulb.
Yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, we're gonna talk about that later.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we did the class at the Home Depot backyard right outside the Mercedes-Benz Stadium.
Yep.
Kind of like in collaboration with them.
Free event.
Yeah, free event for everybody to come to. Yep.
Free.
Yeah, it was free. The next one's free too, and the one after that's free.
Free parking in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Free parking when you come to our events.
Okay, there's no free parking in the city of Atlanta anywhere. Like they're even charging a park at the mall.
Yeah, no, legit.
Free okay, yeah, we're gonna put that information in, in the bio so you guys can be there.
Yeah.
But, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, and the way we wanted to teach it, kind of what Andres was touching on, is actually learn it. You know, actually understand why. So what we taught in this past one was how to shoot fully manual, and sometimes people talk about it like, and then they want those shortcuts and stuff. And I mean, the shortcuts really are just shooting auto or like shutter priority, aperture priority, all that kind of stuff. And we wanted to teach them like what's ISO? You know, what it like
in search of?
Oh yeah. No, but like
in search of the auto button because I don't know what this is.
But yeah, no, and it's like, you know, if you don't understand what ISO is, you don't actually understand what you're doing when you're moving ISO, so you don't understand when you should move ISO. Like, you know, when you should go up with it, when you should go down with it. Same thing with shutter speed and f-stop and then white balance. So we taught them the theory behind it also, because then they can go in any situation and shoot. It can be gnarly lighting, it could be broad daylight, it could be dusk, it could be overcast, it could be whatever inside, right? It could be studio lighting, and they know what to do to get the shot that they're looking for. So also explain them how these different things affect the image outside of just like bringing light into it and things like that. So we really want to teach people the nitty gritty, but then also in the class, we brought out models for the second hour, and everybody got to practice with these different models.
Did they bring their own cameras?
Yeah, so brought their own camera. Some people even brought their phone.
Yeah.
And a lot of these things can also apply to the phone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like if you can capture images, it's better if you bring like an actual camera, because then you can fine tune it even more. But there's going to be one we're going to teach on composition and how you tell a story more in your shots, and then off-camera flash photography, things like that. So we want to show people how to take really good images, but also just understand their camera more, because you know these things aren't cheap. But a lot of people are buying and spending a lot of money, and they're shooting an auto, and I'm like,
Yeah.
You know,
I am. I've had that thing for 5-6 years, and auto is the only way to go for me. Now, with the class that you guys did teach before, is this information available anywhere, or are you guys gonna run it back at the next one? You know, just kind of give like a little brief, because for people like me, I would be very interested in that. And like, I know there are other people out there that will be interested in it as well.
So I think we're signed on to do 4 classes with just the Home Depot backyard.
Okay.
And I think the last one we're gonna run that one back, the how to shoot manual. Because it was just really valuable. Like we got really good feedback from it. And so what was really cool about it too was we taught it, but then when the models were there, we went around to each individual's, what questions do you have? Like what's your understanding, and kind of quiz them a little bit, because a lot of people are like, I understand it, and like they don't want to really ask the questions, but we pushed them, and so we taught a lot, and we were very hands-on during it as well. So we'll bring that one back to end the season at the Home Depot backyard, and
I'm excited, disappointed, and excited all over. I'm excited because I love to learn, and I know there are other people that love to learn, and I love to see people who are not too big or professional to give back to other people. I'm disappointed because I missed the first one. I'm excited because we're gonna run it back.
We're gonna run it back. We're gonna run it back.
For me to come visit.
Exactly.
So in addition to that, you guys are out here doing other events. I missed the event at the W.
Okay,
so like y'all out here, like y'all are doing things. Like you guys are creating a scene, whether it's behind the camera, whether it's in person, whatever it is, you guys are out here creating. So tell us the idea behind the pool party.
So the biggest 2 things we saw with the pool party. First one was all roads are leading to the World Cup here in Atlanta in 2026. And so we had the idea of like a lot of events and the content that comes around of it isn't being done well and isn't being done efficiently. They're leaving a lot on the table and all these different things. And so we're like, why don't we just do that so we get full creative control and don't have to answer to the big companies about doing it their way, and like have their little quirks and stuff like this. So we curated it, we created it, we came up with it, we promoted it, we shot it, we hosted it with Rob Minger. Shout out to our guy with that. So our mindset was like, we want to curate events that we could then take during the World Cup and be like, hey guys, we already have the infrastructure. We have the people who are looking forward to our events. We have the content, and we have the structure and all that stuff.
Now we just need your check.
Exactly.
And we need this and that, and we can make something great for you. Damn, that is amazing.
Yeah.
So, like, what's next?
Man, we got a few things in the pipeline. We are gonna shoot the pilot and throw the pilot of a creative night event, a cocktails and creative night event is coming Tuesday. So that's gonna be the first one. We're just doing like a little pilot of it, and then we're gonna like open it up.
So this is it's gonna be you guys' event. Okay.
Yeah. So a big thing, actually going back a little bit, when we started this year, there are 2 things we really said we wanted to focus on for this year. We wanted to be more proactive, and we wanted to be bolder. So we shot a ton of events, ton of companies, amazing events, love them, but we were always at the mercy of companies because if they weren't throwing an event, they weren't hiring us to shoot their event, right? So we're like, how do we flip that equation? And then we're like, we have to be proactive, we have to throw the events, we also have to be bold in the way we're doing it, because we never want to just be like anything else. Even from the way our content, from the speed you get it, from the interaction you have with us while we're shooting it for you, or even just working with us if you're a client and stuff, we want it to all be like uniquely us. Like you don't get that anywhere else. So with this one, throwing another event and really just going after it, because we felt like event content wasn't done the way it should, but we also felt like there was a gap in events too that are like curated, such a cliche word these days, but like highly curated events where. So the way we did it with the pool party and with our upcoming events, even the photo class, we always feel like if we're hosting someone, people at events have kind of lost the definition of hosting. So if you come to someone's house and they're hosting you, right? They're gonna offer you something to drink. They're gonna maybe offer you some food, some snacks. They're gonna make sure you're comfortable. If you're there for a few hours, they're gonna make sure you're entertained. All these different things, but it's like a personal, hands-on touch, right? Yeah. And then I feel like a lot of people they're hosting an event, right? And it's really just them. They post once or twice about it, a little promo flyer, and then they're at the event and they're chilling in a corner at a table
instead of mingling. The people that came out to support you.
Exactly. So we're like, if we're throwing an event, any kind of event, we feel like people are craving because everybody wants to feel special. Everybody wants to feel like, you know, they're worth attention and all those kind of things. So we throw these events where people feel that way. Because we're making them feel that way. We're giving them the attention, we're giving them the time, and we're guiding them through the event. Another big thing with that is a lot of people go to events, and imagine you get there, if you go there by yourself or even with one other person or two other people, you kind of stand there and you're like, okay, what do I do? And if there's not something concrete to do there, which a lot of events don't actually have, maybe you get on the dance floor and you shake around for a little bit, but that's it, then guess what you do after that? You leave. Yeah. Because no one's going to stay in a place wondering what to do for too long. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, that was, again, I went on a little rant with it, but that's one of the big reasons we wanted to be bold and proactive this year. We just thought it wasn't being done the way it should be done. And we can do it, so why don't we do it? And we have a lot of great partners, too, like with the W, let us use the space and all that stuff. But also Bacardi, Patron, and Douce and Grey Goose were partners with us on it. Okay. Yeah, so, like, shout out to them. And, you know, the individuals we work with on that, because, you know, they came in and they helped us make sure, like, the guests, they were bringing out, like, trays of just Patron and people drink them, all that kind of stuff. Amazing.
So the event, the upcoming event, like, is this not an open event, or, like, how is that working?
So this first one will be an invite only because we're just creating, basically promo for the event. Okay. But then after that, it will be a ticketed event that will probably sell out within minutes.
Because you guys are just that special and important.
We sold out the pool party, and then the Home Depot backyard event sold out, and so it's becoming like we're building like a community too, and I think people are starting to really feel that as well. Okay. Because one of the biggest things we pride ourselves in is like we don't just have people in the foodie community or the fashion or the music. A lot of our people are from all different walks of life, and people can really feel that, and that gets rid of those like creating like closed off groups at events and stuff like that. People are very open to meeting each other.
It's one big happy family.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, guys, hopefully I'll be able to let you guys know how Tuesday's event is because I'll be getting my invite. But if I don't, you guys won't know because this interview will never come out.
Q's gonna be in there.
Joking.
Q gonna be in there. We have some things to talk about today.
No, but honestly, like, I love everything that you guys are doing. And then as I'm sitting here talking to you guys and you're explaining your own journey and the things that you've done, the things that you are doing, and the things that you will do, like, I'm seeing passion and happiness in this. And that makes me happy. Yeah. Because I don't like people that aren't. Why would you want to support people that aren't passionate about what they're doing? Exactly. And that translates to how you host and entertain the people that come and support you. So what is next aside from the events? Like, you guys have accomplished some amazing things, but there's so much more out there in the world. What are some of the things that you guys want to grab a hold of?
I'll jump in while you're thinking. So kind of as I was saying before, inspiration comes from like more of like the movie stuff. So coming up next, with Rod Minger, we're going to be shooting a series, YouTube series with him. Okay. But just like we like to do with everything, we want to take it to the next level.
Mm.
So, have this feel like one of those really great TV shows, more so than a YouTube series,
Okay.
And I think we'll do like a 6 or 8 episode season 1. And so we're going to be shooting that. And that's going to give a lot of room just creatively to really explore storytelling, how we do it visually, how we do it through the script, all those different things. A lot of things people haven't seen from us before, especially in these longer form content, because all of our stuff is shorter form.
Yep.
And there's so many tools and tricks we have kind of just waiting to be deployed for something like this. So I'm super excited, and just to like dip our foot in this for the first time is going to be great. And then another thing creatively, so these are like big creative projects that we have on the horizon. We are going to be shooting on YouTube you see these live DJ sets or these DJ sets.
Yes.
Where they're mixing all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff, and it's a great listening experience, but you usually get some cool visuals too. We're gonna be shooting some of those. So
Are you guys gonna be the DJs?
Oh no, we're not gonna be the DJs.
Oh, okay.
No. We're gonna go with some DJs, some of the bigger local Atlanta DJs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And shoot some really just creatively visual storytelling pieces around them doing their DJ set. It's gonna be a great listening experience, but it's also ideally gonna take the visual experience to another level when you're just thinking that genre of video. So those are two like big creative projects we have on the horizon for the near future.
Okay.
Yeah. I'd say, so one of the biggest things we are moving towards is using the Cork Bros platform as a place where you come to learn about the Atlanta culture.
Mm.
And so what we realized was a lot of the bigger companies, like when we had way less followers, are like, we like your page, but there's no platform to put your content on that would justify us paying a certain amount to get it on there. And so that over the last year, we've really been building and showing people like where Atlanta culture is, we are. And we want people to come to our page to see what's going on there. For example, we're going to shoot with Trinidad James tomorrow at his new spot at the Underground.
Yes.
And telling those stories of people in Atlanta and coming from a real authentic place, because a lot of these bigger newspapers or TV shows or stuff like that, they've lost a lot of credibility and trust with the public, and I feel like people are really starting to trust creatives at a deeper level, and so they want to see the authentic version of Atlanta through like our lens, as opposed to like a big TV show or something like that here in Atlanta. So that's kind of what's next for us, is being that like place, and we're still in the process of figuring that out, but that's kind of what's next.
You guys have been in Atlanta for, from what you said, about 10 years now.
Yeah.
So with the goal of showing and displaying everything Atlanta is currently, how has the transition been from the beginning to now? Because Atlanta, if you look at Atlanta, if you experience Atlanta, everything's completely different.
Yeah.
So, like, how have you guys navigated the changes of Atlanta and knowing exactly what to highlight in the city?
So some changes that come to mind are just sheer number of businesses that have closed down over the 10 years. I feel like not even just in Atlanta, but all over the U.S., businesses have shifted. Now people don't really want restaurants, they want experiences. And they don't just want to go grab a drink, they want to do something with it. And I think COVID really changed how people are more intentional with getting out and about. And so how we've adjusted is we just keep showing up. We show up to different rooms. Anytime we get invited to places, whether there's something, if there's something crazy that we can't, we won't show up, but we always try to show up to different places. We be in different industries like we talked about, so we could really feel the full experience of Atlanta. But it's interesting. Over the last 2 years, I'd say Atlanta's gotten a lot closer. I think people have come together for the World Cup because everyone wants, from just a perception I have, everyone wants Atlanta to be shown in a good light to the world on the world stage. And I think we're really starting to see some collaborations and businesses come together, and individuals and creatives and different things like that come together where it's a lot more close knit. And there's a lot more access to people. You're getting Trinidad James is great at showing up a lot. 2 Chainz, Killer Mike, T.I. You can meet these people in the community, unlike in LA, where if you're not an exclusive mansion party, you're never going to see the celebrities, you know? And so I think like Killer Mike and T.I. opening up the Bankhead Seafood.
Yes,
They're
I
really,
still haven't been there.
Yeah, they're really connecting with the community. So I'd say that's some of the ways that we've kind of adjusted, is just trying to stay present and just always saying yes to going different places. What would you say?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot happening in the city. There's a lot happening in the city before. I feel like it just shifts. You got to find the new places where the similar things happening.
Yeah.
Because like all your staples, all your favorites, I'd say 80+% of the places I went to, especially before COVID, didn't exist. I had to find new kind of locales for it. But Atlanta is like, you know, it's resilient. People want to have fun in the city.
Yeah.
So they're gonna have fun in the city, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't feel like that's changed. I feel like you just have to find the new spots where it's happening, you know?
Yeah.
And then I do agree with what you're saying in terms of, from a more business mindset, people are coming together.
Yeah.
People are trying to figure out, all right, how do we do the best collaboratively for the city as the World Cup approaches, the Super Bowl after that, and things like that. So I don't know, it's definitely changed, but I always am like, is it different for me because I'm seeing more in different parts of the city now? Because when I first got here, I didn't know anybody. And, you know, I'm just going to a few spots you get when you Google what to do in Atlanta tonight, right?
Yeah.
And then now you're going places where either you're seeing stuff on Instagram because you're following the right accounts, or we're getting invites or whatever, and you're just seeing a whole different aspect of the culture of the city. So, you know, and also being a transplant, I think, is a little different because a lot of people talk about how Atlanta changed. And I think a lot of it is even from further back than 10 years, you know, comparing it to now.
Yeah.
But from everything I've seen, if you want to have fun in Atlanta, they're gonna find the fun. Yeah. And it's the thing about Atlanta, man. We need a central location for some of this.
Yeah.
You know, because now you got to know the spot, because it's gonna be like one venue is doing this thing on this night, and you would love to do it, but how the heck are you supposed to know about it if you aren't following the right account or you don't know the right person to invite you, you know? Like, there's just so much happening in the city, but it's so hard to find.
But if they follow you guys, then they'll get the opportunity to know everything.
Exactly.
Yep.
Like, I'm 18 years in. As a matter of fact, in like 3 weeks, it'll be 18 years since I've been here.
Okay.
So the things that I had the opportunity to witness, it's completely different now. Like, Atlanta, if you look at social media, Atlanta is hookah, lamb chops, grass walls, food, and like drinks with smoke coming out. But there is so much more to Atlanta than the social media. Like, there are festivals, and the thing is, like you said, the centralized locations, but there are things everywhere. McDonough, they're doing their own thing out here. Stockbridge, they have an amphitheater that they have music venues. There's something in Decatur. There's something a little bit of everywhere, right? So, you know, having the opportunity to follow the right accounts, because there's always so much going on. And the crazy thing is, like, you don't know. Some people don't know about it until you see the after effect of what has happened. So why Atlanta, though? Why do you guys feel like Atlanta is that place that people should see and you guys are taking on the task of showing them?
Atlanta's amazing, man. Atlanta is amazing. You have this great combination, this great like crossroads of the Southern hospitality, the history, especially Black culture and Black history. So much transformative things have happened here, and I feel like the weight of that and that history, especially in our culture, provides a certain level of gravitas to everything that's happening here, especially as a Black man in Atlanta. From the entertainment, everything Atlanta's doing to push forward. It's not a city that's declining. It's a city on the rise, even still, even with how big it is. Like, it's an amazing place to be. Like, it's so unique too.
Yeah, and I would just say, we always say we believe it's the top 5 city in the U.S.
Yes.
Outside of New York, Chicago, L.A., and then we kind of teeter between Miami and Atlanta.
Yeah, like Atlanta's right on that list. Like I'd say New York and LA are New York and LA, right?
Yeah.
And then the Chicago, Miami, Atlanta are like right there with
Yeah.
it. And I would say for what we do and the opportunities we get, Atlanta's the best city out of all of them.
Yeah.
Full stop.
I agree.
Because I think the thing I love about Atlanta is you can get into a lot of events and get a lot of access to a lot of people here.
Oh yeah.
Business owners, celebrities,
the people behind the scenes that are actually making the decisions.
Yep. Mm-hmm. People who work at Tyler Perry Studios, like all these different people, you can get access to them. But in New York, again, you got to be on some exclusive club and know this person and get all. It's just horrible. Like, you could show up at a Delta event and see Doechii perform here a few weeks ago, you know?
Oh,
so,
they did have that.
Yeah.
And so you see, like, that's not in a lot of other cities because they're so established with their PR companies. They've been working with the same creatives. They've been working with the same talent for years and years and years, and it's really hard to get on those lists.
Yeah.
But here in Atlanta, it's just, it has the history, it's had the growth, but also you see the potential too. And I think the central place is actually going to become near the stadium because
that new building.
Yeah, they're building the new Live Nation concert venue there. The CNN Center they took over is going to be
a food hall.
Yep, a food hall there.
Yeah.
And then you have the 2 stadiums. You have the Signia Hotel. You have the Home Depot backyard. You have the Dome right over there. You have those 2 other buildings that are coming up right now. I think that will kind of take where, if people are looking, where do you go in Atlanta? Right there. Right next to that is Centennial Olympic Park with the aquarium, the World of Coke, the Civil Rights Museum, which I always used to go on my birthday, and the College Football Hall of Fame. That is kind of like becoming the central place in Atlanta where you go.
I need to go see if I can buy me a parking lot.
Oh yeah, right. No,
make a little money.
Yeah, anything around there is going to be skyrocketing to make some money.
Yeah.
Okay, well there you have it, guys.
Yeah.
You have the answer.
Boom, bro.
Yeah.
So with everything that you guys are doing, with the spaces that you guys have been able to get into, with the work that you have created, how do you guys remain consistent, humble, and eager?
Consistent, humble, and eager. Consistency, I don't know if this will answer the question, but there's no other option for us. There's no plan B.
Perfect answer.
Yeah, there's no plan B. There's no, well, if this doesn't work out, we do this. And so that's what's kept us consistent. It's just consistently having that bigger vision of mind of like, there's no other plan for this. So we just kind of got to keep striving for it. What keeps us humble is God. We, every event, every interview, every project, every call before that, we pray and give God the glory for
we
it.
didn't grab no hands and pray.
We prayed in the car before we came.
I prayed before y'all walked in.
No, exactly. And that's really what is keeping us humble, and where we've really started to see a lot of growth, because when we were trying to do things on our own, we were, messing things up, or not messing things up, but not as efficiently as God does it. And so we've kept him at the center of each day and praying and making sure that he gets the glory. And
it makes it so simple too.
Yeah.
Like, when you're going in, and let's say you go into a meeting and you're talking about something, maybe the first time you're talking about that kind of project or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I don't even know how much to charge these people. I don't know what really to say about this or whatever. When we just pray before the meeting and we just say, God, we literally just say, God, be in the room with us.
Yeah.
Let us know, how we need to move so we can move on your path, And then there's been times where it's like, okay, what's the price for this thing? And they need to know it there, so we can't even go back, and it's like, boom, a price just comes in my head. Or we just know the thing to say to really connect the dots for the client or whatever. And it just, moving kind of in his purpose just provides so much clarity for us And it makes a lot of it, like, we still have to physically go and do this stuff, you know? So we still have the long days. But from a mental standpoint, one of the hardest things with being an entrepreneur is knowing what to do next. Because you have to figure that out, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, since we, like, started, especially consistently, like,
Yeah.
like, there's some days, obviously, we forget to pray in the morning or something like that. And then we usually realize by the afternoon, we're like, things are a lot harder than they should be right now. We should pray.
Need to have a pray break.
Yeah, exactly. But consistently praying, like trying to do it day after day before we even begin anything, has made it so much easier just to move and to know where to move. Because it's just like, of course we should be moving that direction.
Yeah, and I'd say the other thing that keeps us humble too is we are big on pulling up to events that they wouldn't expect us to be there. But what I mean by that is a 12-person event, and we still go give them photos, we still deliver them in real time, and we still like give them a shout out on social media and stuff like that. And that keeps us humble because we never want to be just in the rooms with the celebrities. We never want to lose touch of like the everyday person who's just trying to throw an event and get it off the ground. We went to this the day after our pool party, so we're on this high, but what kept at least me humble, Michelangelo had a friend in town, so he had to be with him, but what kept me humble was this girl reached out, she's like, hey, I'm starting this event that helps promote female DJs. Could you show up? And I was like, yeah, and a lot of times people are like, we just want you to show up. You don't have to take photos or anything like that. But showed up, took photos, delivered them to her, delivered them to the DJs and all the people who attended. And I treated that the same way as I treated our pool party. And I feel like that's what keeps us humble, is we'll never not go to those events.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I think another thing too, especially keeps us striving and eager, I'd say, is we're very confident in our abilities. We know we're nowhere close to where we want to be and where we're going to be.
Yeah.
Like, as confident as we were like, okay, we can go and execute this. This is going to look great. This is going to feel great. We're like, man, we're not even close. I looked at some videos I did earlier this year. Like, why would I do that? Like, I know better than that now.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's
and we're only 6 months in.
Yeah, no, legit. Yeah. It's like if I look at something from 3 months ago, I'm like, okay.
You're constantly growing.
Yeah, and knowing that the target we've set is so high, you got to be constantly eager and willing and to strive for it, because this isn't what we didn't set out to be here.
Yeah.
This is just part of the journey.
Yeah.
And we're still on that journey. We're still on that climb and all that. And it's only going to get harder and harder. And we've realized that as time has gone by, is like the reward for overcoming your current challenge is your next challenge. You know? And we realize just everything becomes harder and harder to do, becomes more rewarding, and honestly you get more confident in your ability to do it, even though it's becoming harder.
Yeah.
You know? So I would say just knowing we are not even close is a big part.
As you guys know, June is Men's Health Awareness Month. So for you guys, with what you are doing, by the fact that you guys are always learning, you guys are always at events, you guys are always planning the next great venture, how do you guys stay sane, stay happy, aside from the praying, because we know prayer is a big thing.
Yeah.
What do you guys do to keep yourselves together?
Definitely. What helps keep me together is I'm involved in a Bible study each Wednesday night that I go to, and that's a non-negotiable for me. Unless I make a rule, if it's a certain amount of price point that we get paid, I'll show up there. But it's that I treat it that importantly, because like in order for me to like grow as a man, I gotta be in those rooms, like studying the Bible, learning about God, and and being in those environments where we're having those conversations. So that's one thing. The second thing is taking one Sabbath day each week, where that day I don't do anything that could lead to us making money. So it's like, that means I can't like just say, hey, for an hour I'm gonna reach out to people on Instagram about blah blah blah. I just take a full day, and that helps to reset my mind, and like it helps me have healthy boundaries with the Cork Bros, because I used to just every single day go at it. And then I was like, okay, I got to adjust here. I'm not going to be able to maintain this for the long term. And so I'll work my ass off 6 days out of the week, but got to take that one day and then got to take that Wednesday night for Bible study.
Okay, and what about you?
I think learning is a big part of it for me. I feel most fulfilled when I feel like I'm learning and growing. So that's a huge part. But I mean, just being active, you got to have other hobbies and things you do. But I've been feeling the most healthy this year. Just started doing Latin dancing, so I've been learning salsa and bachata. Okay. Yeah, then the great thing about Atlanta, you could go dance every night of the week if you want.
Yeah.
Monday is the only one that's kind of like iffy, but literally Tuesday night you could go to like 1 a.m. if you wanted. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, of course, Sunday. So doing that because I feel like having a hobby, at least for me, that is also has like a big learning curve, but I'm on a different part of that learning curve than, let's say, with photography, videography, and the business, right? It just kind of, I don't know, it made me feel a little nostalgic in a sense. Where just back when you're a kid, you're thinking about all these things you're like, you just suck at. You don't even know how to do, you know? You just feel like you're just so uncoordinated and stuff because you're doing it for the first time. And then you just start to feel things click into place, you know? So that's been really great for me this year is just feeling that, you know, that feeling you don't feel that often as an adult of just like, I'm doing something, it's hard, but I'm doing it consistently and I'm getting better consistently and it feels really good. There's a social component, it's really fun and stuff. You get to go out there and dance and so that's been great. And just being, you know, it's physical. So you get to move, you get that, you know, endorphins, dopamine, all that stuff and just moving around.
Now, I would have to agree with that because I'm at a place where I recently started a new chapter, getting back to a more healthier me physically. So I started with a trainer yesterday.
Oh, nice!
Congratulations.
So I feel it, but I'm not like I'm holding it in. I'm feeling it for real. But being in that place where I have to learn how to do these exercises all over again, trying to train my body to, you know, be what it is going to eventually be. It's a lot, but it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
To know that, you know, the other end of this is gonna be that body that can outshine everybody.
Yeah.
You know.
No, legit.
But I'm happy for you guys. Like, you guys are doing some amazing things. And having the opportunity to witness from the places that I have and witnessing it from the places that I will, you know, it's an amazing thing. And I'm so excited because I'm about to be learning how to do this camera. So that's going to be amazing. So let the people know how they can stay in touch with you guys, the classes that you guys have coming up, how they can register for them, and how they just can be a part of the Cork Bros community.
Absolutely. So the best way to get in touch with us is through Instagram. It's the platform we pay the most attention to. So it's at the Cork, C-O-R-K, Bros, B-R-O-S on Instagram. Best way is to DM us. We also have our email in there. That'd be the second best way to get involved, in touch with us. And then any of the classes we're hosting with the Home Depot Backyard, it'll be on their website. So the link in the bio, the Home Depot Backyard on Instagram, will give you all the classes that we'll be teaching and all the info that you need for there. Again, free parking, the event's free. You get to learn for the first hour, and then the second hour, you get to put that into practice. And yeah, follow along the journey. And if you ever have any questions as a videographer, photographer, just reach out, DM us. We'd be staying in the DMs, answering questions all the time, to be honest about different techniques and things like that.
If you want your photo taken, show up to one of our pop-up portraits. We show up on the Beltline, Piedmont Park, all over the city, just giving free photos out to the community. So follow our page at the Cork Bros on Instagram. Then we usually post like a day or two before, letting you know where we're going to be.
So what I want to know, do you guys have a newsletter by chance?
We should have a newsletter. We should have a newsletter.
So newsletter coming soon.
Yeah, newsletter coming soon. We really should have a newsletter.
Like, because you guys have a lot going on that people are definitely interested in.
Yeah.
So definitely could, and I'll be the first one to sign up.
Hey, there we go. We'll send you the link.
So I appreciate you guys so much
Thank you
for joining me today. Like, I am inspired right now. Like, I can't wait to hit stop recording because I have some questions for you guys. But thank you guys so much. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys support. And hopefully I can see you guys at an event of theirs, at a class of theirs, or something. And tune in to BLK Talk again when we have another amazing guest coming very, very soon.